Hello everyone, Moff coming at you with a GT3 race at Interlagos. It's going to get off to a really quick start, action right off the bat, and that's not necessarily unusual for a GT3 race, but this one has something a little bit special before the first turn even gets here. So just keep an eye up there in front of me on that left-hand side. Gonna see a car dip down, try to go for an early pass, but oh, he gets in the frickin' wall. And then watch happens. Oh my god, I almost die before we even get to the first turn. But I managed to survive, and the race is on. So we got Jason Katz over there in the red car, and then a few other fools that we end up racing with for a while here. That orange car, we have some good battles. Jason, he manages to stay in front of me for a long time in this race. Got some crazy people trying to fly to our outside here. I'm just trying to sit back, let things get sorted out, and run my race. It's always good to get single file and let the actual racing begin. I'll let first lap side-by-side mess. It's fun, but it's much easier to run your line whenever you don't have 15 cars all around you. But you can see cars are all over the place. We got cars off in the grass on both sides of the road. So we're picking up positions pretty quickly here. This orange GT3 Z4 is going a little wide there, but not able to make any progress towards passing them. That last corner is always a little bit interesting, getting on the power. You can definitely get a little squirrely coming out of there. I did get a little bit of tire spin that particular time. I have my traction control set on 3, so should just take care of all that for me if you ask me, but somehow I am still able to spin the tires a bit. Down here, braking around the 50 marker. Keeping it real tight to the inside on turn 1, so you can get a good run down here into turn 2. Typically, you can get some good drafting, but with so many cars lined up like this, it's hard to really pull up on anyone because everybody's just drafting off the car in front of them, so it kind of equalizes, unless you're the guy in the front of the train. But you can see we do have looks like about an 8-car train here in front of me. Going through these S's. Once your tires get warm, you can definitely stay on the throttle through that corner a little bit better. I like to take this final corner in 3rd gear just so you can get on the gas a little bit more aggressively and not have to worry about the tire spin. I'm sure some people are taking that in 2nd, but I don't really know that it's any faster to drop down to 2nd. It might be, but like I say, I feel like it's a lot safer in 3rd. Closing in on this Simulage BMW Z4. Got more accidents happening. Now we have a little scrum going on here. All these 5 cars, too wide. Figure I'll try and take advantage of this guy staying wide here. But not quite able to get the run off of that corner that I needed. And I definitely don't have the inside line coming into here, so I have to give that back up. I could have tried to hang around the outside, but even if I manage to stay to the outside, I'm not going to have the inside line in this corner, and there's basically no way to stay on the outside around that corner. So I did have to give up that pass attempt. And you can feel that. I got like a nice little punt from the car behind me. Just some idiot who already had a couple incidents prior to that. But he's going to sort himself out here in a few laps anyway. He's getting attacked a little bit by this green car. So hopefully he can just stay away from me from now on. He definitely gave me a little tap there that ended up giving me a 4X, which is freaking annoying because, you know, I was running a really clean race. And, you know, it's like, that was definitely not my fault. I just got, you know, rear-ended. And I take the safety rating hit for it. But such is iRacing. So my main thing I'm thinking about now is just don't let that teal car be able to get back to my bumper. So I definitely don't want to get punted again. And I definitely felt like he was capable of it. Missed that corner a little bit, take it too wide, not enough braking beforehand. So that puts us up to lap 4. Started in 17th position, and so we made some pretty good progress already in the first 4 laps. I mean, most of it's been from cars going off track. But we are up to 10th position already. Now, I qualified for this race with a 31.4 qualifying time. And this race was a 2400 strength of field, and so that had me starting all the way back in 17th, even with the 31.4 qualifying time. I do feel like I could try to re-qualify and probably improve on that a bit. I just haven't taken a go at it yet. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I mean, I do have that 4X from the guy that rear-ended me, and then also a 4X from the start of the race where I was able to dodge, but I guess I net-coded into the car that spun off the wall. So while I have no damage, I do already have 8 incidents. But I'm pretty comfortable, mainly because, you know, I have several cars here that are directly in my sights. That I'm hoping I'll be able to get around, you know, before the end of the race. And my car is still fine, you know, even though I have had some little incidents. The car is driving perfectly. I am using the Tapani setup that's posted on the forum. It's a good stable setup. I like it quite a bit. It really definitely handles these curves with no problem. I read on the forum that he had, you know, spent some time tuning the high-speed dampers to be able to handle the curves better. And you can definitely tell. I mean, you can attack the curves and the car doesn't get upset at all. Definitely something that you know, would be probably a little harder in the McLaren, for instance. But, you know, this is the BMW Z4 challenge, so pretty much all these cars that I'm racing are all Z4s. So I am, you know, thinking to myself, I need to be trying to get around some of these cars. And I was able to get a pretty good run coming off of that final corner and stay fairly close to this guy's bumper. And even though he does have a draft off the car in front of him, I'm so close to him that I'm getting probably a better draft than what he is getting. and he goes ahead and concedes that position. And no chance for him to do any over-under action. So I was in 10th, and that's going to move me up into the 9th position, and we're on lap 7 at this point. Now, you might notice that purple car, the purple and white car that's back there with the white wheels. Now, that is actually the #1 iRating guy in the room. And he did not qualify. So I do believe he started around, probably around 22nd or 23rd position. So he's been making moves up through the field this entire time. And he's ended up going to get past the guy that's currently in front of him, and he'll be on my bumper in a few laps. Back down through turn 2, turn 3. Here's where you want to be able to get some draft. I found it's possible to brake a bit later for that corner, but I think if you just brake a little earlier, you get a better run out of it, and it's definitely good to get a great exit because you have a fairly decent straightaway here. And that guy actually went a little wide, but I also went a little wide there, so I didn't make up as much time as I maybe could have if I had have hit that turn perfectly. But I am to his bumper. Trying to do a little fake pressure here to show him that I'm to his inside, but he does a good job and runs his line as normal. I feel like I have more pace than most of the cars that I'm following here, but it is just not easy to make passes, It's definitely a fun track. I mean, I've driven on this track quite a few times. I used to run Grand Am back whenever it was the DP and the McLaren. So I've driven this track, I believe, twice in the Grand Am series with the McLaren a few seasons back. And then, of course, last season I was in the roof running GT3. And it was also on the schedule last season. It's a fun track. Like I say, passing is definitely not the easiest, but there are plenty of opportunities. You just have to pick your spots, get your runs in the right spots, and even though people can defend, you can definitely force a pass if you have to. If you're faster than the other car, you're eventually going to get around them. So I'm definitely all over this guy here. And that guy caught the curbs a little bit wrong and probably spun his tires, and off he went. So there's another free position. Always got to like that. So checking behind us, you can see the purple car has made his way around the red car, and he has got his sights set on me, and he definitely has in his mind that he wants to go to the front. I mean, he's the #1 iRating guy in the room, and so, I mean, to not lose iRating, he's going to have to finish pretty far up there. And I definitely noticed that he was the one car from looking at the F3 box. So I know that he's fast. I know that he's come from back farther in the field than I started and was able to, come all the way up here and catch me. And he's definitely, pressuring me some here. So for a bit here, I definitely do my best to try to defend. But there's only so much you can do. So I definitely am starting to realize, you know, well, this guy, he's the #1 iRacing driver in the room. He's come from quite a ways back in the field. He's probably going to be able to pass me eventually, no matter what I do. You can see he's taking the extra wide line, and you see what kind of a run he gets off that last corner by doing that. So he's getting that really good run on me here. Part of me wants to just try to keep on defending, but I'm just like, you know, it's probably not worth it. So I just take it back over here to the right and let him have the inside. Now my thought was I'll let him by, and then, I mean, he's pretty well gonna pass the cars in front of me. So maybe I can follow him through when he makes his passes on these next two cars, if I can just keep up with him. But I actually went a bit too wide. I gave a little too much room, and I lost a good bit of time. So my plan was, like I say, to follow him through, but with losing this much time, it's going to be really hard for me to try to follow him through on these passes he's planning on making, unless I can get back to his bumper pretty quick here. And of course it also depends on how much defending these guys ahead of him do. You always run slower when you're in a battle with someone. And like, this car is, you know, running behind me. I've already passed him earlier. So I feel like I don't have to really worry too much about him attacking me. So already this guy is attacking this next car in front of me here, the orange car. And I am nowhere near enough to be able to try to follow him through on this pass. It is going to slow down the orange car though, being having to go on the outside here. So while I'm not able to necessarily just follow the purple car through, I was able to close the gap up to that orange car quite a bit. So in the end, letting that purple car through didn't lose me any time on this orange car, just because, you know, eventually he was able to make a pass, and in making that pass he slowed this orange car down and let me get back to where I pretty much was before, which is right on this guy's bumper trying to make a pass. While there's no McLarens in sight, one thing is for sure, the McLarens do really well through this twisty stuff. They seem to do really good in these really low-speed corners, so they actually seem to be a little better up to speed at this track than some of the others, just because of all this twistiness right through here. Where the McLarens really lose out is on these straightaways and some of the high-speed sweepers. So a little update on things. We're up to the 13th lap, and we're up to 8th position. So far we've come up 9 positions thus far in the race. And we're definitely working on getting some more. One thing I certainly have improved on over the year and a half or so that I've been in iRacing is just being able to handle driving around other cars. And I was actually able to pass this guy around the outside, which is pretty surprising. I thought he would be able to hold it and basically keep me on the outside around that last corner, which probably would have been hard for me to get a good run. But I was actually able to take an apex on the last corner because he sort of just gave the position up. I guess he just felt like, he couldn't defend forever. So that actually puts me up to 7th. And we're sitting at 14 laps. And we have Jason up here in the red BMW Z4. And I feel like that while he is a little ways off, I feel like I can probably catch him. We did start the race pretty near each other and sort of just through some of the traffic, deals and stuff. He was able to get a little bit of a lead here, but definitely not with out of striking distance with this much time left on the clock. So my thoughts now are pretty much just run clean laps, try to use the advantage I have in the fact that I have some draft off of Jason to just reel him in slowly and hopefully have some time at the end of the race to get a pass done. Sitting in 7th position, I've already come up 10 spots through the field. So I'm already pretty happy with where I'm at. I mean, I am the number 5 car, so it would be nice to be able to finish ahead of my I rating, but being that I didn't have the greatest of qualifying times, and starting in 17th, it was going to be really hard for me to ever be able to get all the way up to 5th. Jason did have a little bit of an issue there in turn 3. He kind of took a weird line and got a little too far to the left on those curbs, and I believe he had to lift some just to keep from the car, coming out from under him. But that did allow me to make up quite a bit of time on him there. So really within only a lap, I've cut this gap down pretty much in half. I don't know if he made that mistake just because he messed up, or if maybe he's already thinking about me back here catching him some. But I think at this point he definitely realizes that I'm here, and while I'm not within enough, I'm not close enough to really be able to try to be making any passes yet. I'm sure he's seeing the time shrink a bit on his F3 box. And also seeing my car get a little bit bigger in his rearview mirror. Really important to keep it tight there in turn 1 so you get that really good run down here in turn 2. Because you do have a pretty good straightaway here. So if you're able to really floor it and hit turn 2 almost full throttle, you get a really great run down this straightaway. So it's definitely worth it to sacrifice turn 1. Go a little slower through there so you get that really good run through turn 2 and down that straightaway. Up here, you can go a bit wider, and if you do go wider, you get a little bit better run down this little chute. But I think it's too short of a straightaway there to really try that. I think you lose more time taking the corner wide than you gain in the extra exit speed you get. In the beginning of the race, this corner is a little bit tricky to stay full throttle when your tires are cold, but at this point you can hold it full throttle through that next to the last corner. So not sure I really made any time on Jason on that particular lap. We're all the way up to lap 17 now. So 16 laps in the books. And these races are generally 20 laps. 30-minute race, about a minute and a half lap. So 20 laps is pretty much what they all end up being. Took a little more curve maybe there than you want to, but nothing too bad to lose me much time. I feel like I'm a little better than him through this stuff, this twisty bits. Just feel like I'm gaining on him there, maybe more so than some other spots. Did miss that one a little bit. Also had to downshift a little late. But the main thing is to get a great run here, get on the gas early. I like to use third gear. I'm sure some people use second. Still have a car back there hanging out. So lap 18. So at this point I'm definitely thinking I have to be making a move soon. Because, you know, time is definitely running out. I mean, I'm in 7th. I really want that 6th position, though. And I'm sure Jason at this point is definitely feeling some pressure. I mean, you know, I pretty much set my sights on them around lap 14. And so I've been working on them here for about 4 or 5 laps already. And I've closed up the gap to where now I pretty much do have a decent position to be trying to attack for a pass. Got a good run coming off this last corner. And so he's already knowing at this point that he's going to need to be defending here. So he takes the inside line. I know I'm not going to be able to make it stick around the outside here, but my thoughts are I'm going to cross him over here, be able to get a real good run down here in turn 2, and be making a pass down this straightaway. I didn't get the run that I was hoping for, but I am still getting a good enough run to put myself alongside him. And I'm able to keep to the outside of him here, and because of the fact that he couldn't track out, I do get a little bit better run coming down this straight. And then through here, he's still able to hold it on the outside, which is pretty dang good, but setting up for this corner, he's not got a chance to stay on the outside there. It's just not really possible to hanging around the outside on these really twisty bits. So now he's getting attacked by the orange car. And we are going to be coming to the white flag here, so I know I only have 1 lap that I'll need to defend and keep him behind me. So that was definitely a really exciting pass in the race. My heart was pumping a bit there. And basically, you know, my thoughts are just run a solid last lap. Like I say, I'm getting a white flag coming up now. Just run a solid lap. Defend if I need to, but by no means let this guy back around me. So all that starts with hitting a decent turn 1 and 2. I definitely even take it a little easier than maybe I have the other parts of the race. And Jason actually does get somewhat of a run here, but not enough to be able to put a fender alongside me. I stay to the inside some just to defend, because I don't want him trying to dive inside and do anything crazy. Really hard to pass, do any of this stuff, so I know if I just keep hitting my apexes through here, there's really no way you can get around another car. It's really just all going to come down to the final corner. I got to hit that final corner decent enough to where he's not going to get some really amazing draft that's going to allow him to catch me at the line. So last corner, got to get a good run. And as you see, I'm able to motor off some here, and I'm in no danger of getting this spot taken back from me. So, 6th spot. Not too bad for where I started. Picking up 11 positions in a race, you can never ever be upset about that. Especially considering it all could have been over before the first turn with the way things started. So, you know, looking at my car, maybe a tiny dent on the bumper, you know. The Twitch logo does look a little dented, but that was just from that little punt I got. Nothing bad. Front of the car, it's got some specks of dirt on it, but, you know, nothing's out of place. Everything's fine. The wing's fine, so really clean race overall, except for, you know, stuff that I couldn't really have any control over. We'll take a look at the start one last time, because that was pretty awesome. Oh yeah, fastest lap I ran on lap 16, 31.2. It's actually not quite as fast as my lap I ran in my other race. I had a 31.1 in the other race, but still overall pretty good lap times. A lot of 31s. That's what you want to see. I was able to run some 31s early on in the race as well. Had some mishaps here on the first couple laps, just, you know, traffic and having to get on the brakes for people spinning and stuff. But like I say, let's definitely check out lap 1 and see what's going on up here ahead of me. So this car is just in the wall and just springboards out. And I'm just really lucky I didn't take out the purple car here to the left of me. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop ahead and just show you what this guy was attempting here. Just got to figure out which car it was here. I think it was this one, maybe. Yeah. So yeah. So he tries to just profit on the start. Like, people, why are you going to try to make moves on turn 1? I mean, I get it. You want to win. You want to make up some time here at the beginning whenever it's easy to get some positions, you think. But why try to profit so hard whenever there's a 30-minute race? Even if you do pass some people, like, they might be faster than you and just pass you back anyway. So, you know, sometimes I just don't get it. But just take a look. He's going to try to dive it inside here. The thing is this wall, it comes back out. And, you know, now he's in the wall. The wall is just sucking him up, throws him out. Just ruining people's races. I just don't know why you do that, you know? I don't know why you do that. Just stay in line. Get through turn 1. Stay in line. Stay in line. What are you doing? No, stay in. No. Oh my God. Oh, man. Well, you know, that's GT3, folks. Stuff happens all the time. But I was able to get 126 points out of this race, and I'm pretty happy about that. Considering where I started, 6th place, not a bad deal. Had an average lap time of like a 32.7, so not too bad with that. And like I say, got through a lot of traffic, managed to miss the wrecks, so I was definitely happy with this race. And although my stream cut out a few times, I think this little commentary might be pretty cool for you guys out there on YouTube. So if you like it, leave a comment down below and let me know. I might be able to do some more of this in the future. All right, guys. Well, until next time, I'll see you guys around.